Hello, in this segment, we're going to talk about frequency. And in this area, we're going to talk about what is the frequency of your assessments and do you have a plan from balancing work from week to week? Angie, we'll start with you.
So my courses are designed so that each module is a week. So it is a week-based kind of course and they're asynchronous for the most part. So I want to make sure that I'm touching base with students a couple times a week. So I'll usually have two different due dates in the course of the week and then a variety of assessments within those. So I might have a quiz due on Wednesday and their hands-on assignment due on Saturday, or the first discussion posting due on Wednesday and follow-ups to their classmates due on Saturday. So I just like those touch points during the week. And then I am really cognizant when I begin the course of making sure that whatever the credit hour is for the course, that I'm working on how much time should be spent both in a class in a traditional sense and outside of class on their homework too. And I design my modules based on that. And once I have a basic framework for a week, that's what I kind of use throughout the course. Always keeping in mind, again, what that final demonstration of mastery is for my course, and then building in time to work toward that along the way as well. So I do, again, develop that one template and kind of use that to guide so that I make sure that I'm keeping pretty similar in each of the weeks what I'm requiring of students.
Awesome. Emery, what about you?
Yeah, I do much the same thing. And when I first meet with students in an online course, I talk to them about the need to think in parallel tracks because students sometimes have this linear approach of, I'm going to do one thing, I finish that, then I do the next thing, then I do the next thing. Whereas each week, and my modules are structured weekly like Angie's are, they're going to have multiple projects they're going to be working on or multiple tasks. And those are going to overlap with each other. And you're just going to have to think in terms of balancing those and working on all of them over the course of the week. And in every single week, I'm going to have a discussion forum, and that's going to serve in some ways as a back channel or kind of keeping the flow of the conversation going, while at the same time, they're going to be working on other projects or other activities. And in terms of the workload, I tend to try to start off a little easy the first couple of weeks. First of all, because there's always a student or two that will start late for some reason. And I want to give students a chance to acclimate themselves to the environment for the semester because they are entering a new virtual environment. And then by the third week, we really ramp up. And then the last couple of the weeks, I'll pull back just a little bit because they should be working on their own projects and I shouldn't be needing to push them that hard. They should be pushing themselves that hard if I've been successful in my role as a teacher.
Awesome. I know for some of my classes, we try to keep assignments somewhat standard. So in one of the classes I'm designing that's a 300 course, 300 level, they spend time, it's kind of the same assignments each week. So it's the same pattern. Their main assignment changes. So it's the same flow, but yet it's kind of balanced. They know what to expect. They know that they have a yellow dig discussion every week. They know that they have an assignment that they've got to work with their team on because it's an internship based course. They also know that they have kind of a journal that they have to do as well, or some sort of learning piece they have to do. In a couple of my other courses, we varied a little, but that I try to keep kind of a similar flow so they know each week that they're going to have to look forward to a case study. And it may be a case study on their own that they're discussing in Yellow Dig or a case study working with their team. So it rotates. So there's not too much teamwork and not too much of work by themselves. I also try to balance off, if they're going to have some sort of bigger project, do we open those weeks earlier? Like Andrew was mentioning, we're a week by week as well. So it's like they know that we have one main due date at the end of the week versus smaller ones throughout, just so that students know that by Sunday everything's due. Our week starts on Monday and they have that flow. But we tell them for their group projects, they have to finish their first group project by like the first piece by Wednesday. So that way they can meet as a group with that being done and then reflect on what they learned as they go throughout the week. So we try to balance it. I also look at the other courses my students could possibly be taking and try to also look at to make sure that if I have something really heavy one week, another class doesn't also have something really heavy. So we try to
Same
balance a
thing.
little bit so it makes it a little bit easier. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I find out from some of my students they're not taking those courses, so they have their own challenges to work with. But we try to look at what's out there and then come up with some sort of pattern. So that way assessments have kind of the same idea working through, so they're not trying something different throughout. So again, this was frequency. So we'll see you in the next segment.